I look at the contenders. I'm going to Pittsburgh versus Green Bay. And
shocking.
I look at the contenders in the AFC. I see the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 7-2. I see the Dolphins, who are 6-3. People talk about the Ravens. They're 7-3 with a loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. People talk about the Browns. They're 6-3 also. Jags are 6-3. The Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting here at 6-3, second place in the AFC North, beating Green Bay today. And it was funny. We scored 17 points and a half, and I'm like, guys, slow down. Like, we're not supposed to do this. We're supposed to win like 13-7. Like, pump the brakes. What are we doing? And
looking too good here.
And they got my message, because then there's only 6 points in the second half. Looked a bit sluggish. Green Bay came back, could have won the game, and just typical fashion, what's going to happen. 23-19. Our defense has to make a stop. Jordan Love's getting down the field late, and a big interception. Actually, 2 big interceptions late, and I'm like, here we go again. That's what we do. We win these games.
Is that not exactly how we predicted this game? In the preview show, exactly what we said is this game is, the Steelers should win this, and eventually what will happen is at home, things break the Steelers' way, and they find ways to win.
I said this is going to be the game where we show up and we blow them out. And it looked like that at first. Go on the field, 7-zip. But then Jordan Love answers right back at 7-7. But yeah, we scraped by, got it done, and do what we do. 6-3.
Here's why you shouldn't believe what Jack just said. I want to read you 2 texts that he sent during this group chat. Quote, Jordan Love is so good. Then several seconds later, if we can survive this game, we're the real deal. Hey. I'm sorry. I respect the Steelers. I respect that y'all are 6-3. I respect that after the Ravens collapse, you're now in the running for the division. But Jordan Love is not that good.
He looked pretty good today.
I will say he played all right, right? And there was
he made some throws. I'm like, dang, he hasn't made those all season.
And I don't want to put it just on him, right? There were a few times, I think particularly in the second quarter, there were a couple of times when his receivers really let him down. There was like a 3rd and 10. And he got it right in Watson's hands, like 9 yards down the field, and Watson just drops it. Like, there were definitely a few of those moments. But given that the Packers are a 3-6 team, and I don't know, do you guys really think the Packers are all that much better than 3-6?
I actually taking a look. I don't think they're all that much better, but they can probably be 5-4 if a few things.
I think
so. That's bad. Right, but they're 3-6 against a schedule that includes the Bears, the Falcons, the Raiders, the Broncos. The weirdest Rams game I've ever seen, the Steelers. Like, they haven't played a juggernaut schedule.
No, yeah, they are not a very good football team.
So I'm pumping the brakes a little bit. I will say one thing that looked really different. This reminds me a lot of last year of the Steelers. Somehow it seems like in the middle of the year, like things just come alive on offense and they decide to start running different plays. We saw Jaylen Warren actually get some utilization. We saw some
great today. He was that was one takeaway I had was he's so good.
I said beginning of the year he's better than Najee Harris.
Sure. A lot of Steelers fans, it seems like, have felt that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ziggy, I cut you off.
No, it's just that you were seeing him. You were seeing creative formations, like all of the stuff you've wanted to see all year finally happened a little bit. If the Steelers do that, they don't ask too much from Kenny Pickett. They just take care of business and let this defense ride. I mean, y'all got a bunch of winnable games left on the schedule. The division's in play.
The division, and you need the division too, because can't you just see, like, if you guys are a wild card, you're gonna go on the road and get rocked by someone.
I mean, if we exploded today.
You had 17 points.
We had 23 points. 23 points. If we explode like this, I mean, we're tough to beat.
Imagine if Kenny Pickett gets 127 passing yards. Today it was just 126.
I looked
right, exactly.
During his post-game interview, I looked. And you know what? We again, I know we're kind of joking around here, but the Steelers are finding ways to win, and they're good enough where, yeah, they make plays. At the end of games, they make Patrick Peterson, even though he gets burnt last year, same thing with Vikings. He makes plays at the end of the game to win. But I looked at the post-game interview with Pickett. I just see 14 for 23, 126 yards, 0 touchdowns. So like, oh my God.
He's a game manager.
He is. And Tomlin was right when he said in one of his interviews, in the fourth quarter, he shows up and makes big play after big play. But at home in Pittsburgh, if you guys miraculously win this division, it's hard to win in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it is.
You can actually win a playoff game or two. It's, everyone plays better at home, but you guys, you seem to have something there.
Things just break our way.
If things go your way.
Things go our way.
And it's there for the taking right now.
It was, it was funny. So the game was 23-19. We had a third down, and Pickett completes a long pass to Pickens. and we're going to take a knee because that was the game. But it's too good to be true. It's got to be some drama. So there was an offensive pass interference.
Naturally.
So then we don't get the first down. We punt the ball back. Jordan Love throws a beautiful ball.
Oh, the deep ball, right?
Yeah, down
the
to like
40-yarder
our 30-yard line. I'm like, here we go. Every single week.
Yep, every week. You're like us.
See, this is the second straight week now we've picked the ball off in the end zone as time has expired to win the game.
You're like the Vikings last year. You are us.
Finding ways to just get it done. We go now back-to-back weeks to Cleveland and Cincinnati. So
but if you win those games, you might win the division.
Hey, we've talked about these AFC North games.
They're both on the road, or
both on the road. Yeah.
Well, I will say this, right? Here's one thing that I like about the Steelers. I think Cam Hayward put it well after the game. He said, these might be ugly games for y'all, but these are beautiful games for us. And like, as much as this is sort of a cliche, the fact is when you're playing a very different style of football, it can be tough for teams to come in and adjust when they're playing your game. I think this is part of why going to Pittsburgh is so hard. It's just the atmosphere is set. You have to play ball the Steelers' way, and nobody in the NFL, with the exception of just a couple teams, can really handle the, like, we're just going to do a bunch of 3-and-outs and punts and have TJ Watt run at your face every single play.
Just a disgusting game.
Before I guess we'll move on to this game next, it'll be a good setup, I guess. But when Baltimore went up 14-0 with that long touchdown run by the back there, I'm like, how on earth do we beat this team? And then my dad's like, weird crap happens inside these walls.
No, it does. And if you guys are the 4 seed or something, I'm just looking at these teams, like Miami or Buffalo goes into Pittsburgh, the Chargers.
We'd murk the Finns in Pittsburgh. If we're over 500,
one last thing before we go to Zach's game. I wanted to just mention the Packers for a second here. And I mentioned this during the CJ Stroud portion, where CJ Stroud keeps getting the job done on game-winning drives. The Packers have had opportunities against Atlanta, against the Raiders, against the Broncos, now against the Steelers. They've had the ball with a chance to win the game. And I'm pretty sure 3 of them, the Raiders, Broncos, and Steelers, all ended in game-losing interceptions from Jordan Love. And the Falcons game as well, we remember that. And the Falcons one, to be fair, there were a couple bad drops and stuff for Packers players, but they've had their chance to where we're talking a lot of games here, but if you flip those close games, like the Packers' record would be a lot better than 3-6 right now. It's just they can't. I don't think it's necessarily horrible for Green Bay actually to be losing for draft position and stuff. But Jordan Love did at times look really good. His first touchdown to the back right corner, I turned around and said, "Holy crap, that was a beautiful, beautiful ball."
I mean, the Steelers secondary is not great, and we know that. It's their Achilles heel, but
too soon.
He made
too soon.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But no, he made throws today, and I had some drives and put balls in some spots that he hasn't really done this year. Like I thought he played well.
It's all there with him. It really is there. It's just a matter of figuring it out. And it's a waiting game still.
One way to transition this, since we're talking about the division, you know what the Steelers' rest of schedule looks like?
Yeah, no, it's easy, right?
Yeah, so the Steelers' rest of schedule is pretty easy, right? So, admittedly, they've got Baltimore, they've got Baltimore and Cleveland, but otherwise, they've got the Bengals twice, the Seahawks, the Colts, the Cardinals, and the Patriots. So now that's not exactly easy. But here's who Baltimore has left: San Francisco, Jacksonville, Miami, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Chargers, and Rams.
That's a lot.
If you look at strength of schedule, right, it's significantly easier for the Steelers. And after what we saw for the Ravens today, I think you got to wonder how they're going to hang in those games.
Can you imagine if we see the Texans and Steelers winning their divisions? That parlay.
That was you go back to our preseason hot take episode. I said the Steelers at 5-1 win the AFC North.
I don't know. We're 10 games in. I still don't know, or 9 games in. I don't know who's winning this division.
Hey, I still feel great about my 10 plus wins for each team in that division, which is unbelievable if it happens.
Big Browns won today for that.
Yeah.